Well, accompanied by apparently loud music, I've just been assured that the globe is still spinning, which is reassuring in these
Truly.
strange days. Strange days indeed. The globe is
Hmm.
still spinning. Um, where it'll be spinning to, I don't know. We did just miss being hit, was it yesterday or the day before, by a sizable comet or asteroid or something that came very close to our orbit.
All right.
That we knew it was coming, apparently, and the scientists were saying, don't worry, it's unlikely to hit. But it would have been an extinction event if it had, which would have been just what we needed, wouldn't it? Anyway, um, I don't know. Lots of other countries are sending stuff into space now too.
Hmm.
Very odd. And yeah, some is Arabia, the Saudis, is it? I don't know.
China.
Japan.
Yep.
Oh well, China. Yeah, China's been in space for a while. I
The
think
race to
it's trying to
Mars is
get.
on.
Oh yeah. They just want to get to Mars before the US does. So
Right, right.
yeah, yeah. So space, all the fun and games of space. Oh, and they found another Earth-like world we can actually live on.
Ah, I'm
The only
relieved.
problem, the only problem, the only problem is it would take a lots of generations to actually get there. You'd be talking about great grandchildren being the ones alive when it arrived. And of course, if it didn't look good, it would take just as long to get back, and who knows what they'd find when they got back. Uh, dear, strange thing of time and space it is, really, isn't it?
Mm.
Righty ho. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Mal Burns. That's Mal, and then Burns, Burns. But on the web, most of the time, especially at Twitter, I get squashed. Always getting squashed, I am. Fed up with it, really. So if you want to find me on Twitter, where I've got a very useful feed of links on which this show is based, you go to twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns, all one word. A squash job. And, there's another Twitter feed too. Twitter.com/Metaworld News. Also two words squashed, just like this show. Well, actually, maybe this show is squashed too. When you see the number of tabs I've got on my desktop, and I've got to try and
Mm.
get through them in less than an hour, which never happens, of course. Yes, maybe I'm squashed in many ways. However, I'm drinking ginger cordial, and when I was a
Oh.
kid, we used to call that ginger squash. Go figure.
Yeah.
I just thought of that one. So
Yeah.
today's theme is squash, squelch, and such an never mind. Whether I will use
Interesting.
today's theme is another matter.
Right.
I'm just going to turn my camera a bit so I can see myself a bit better. I'm too busy looking at this background scenery here. Right. Okay. So, as I said, I'm Mal Bones, and that's where you'll find my Twitter feed. Now, this show is bringing you the highlights from that feed and elsewhere. And so we're dealing with the week ending the 26th of July 2020.
No
And
lie, it's July.
yeah, no lie. Yeah,
Now I'm
July, no
feeling
lie.
poetic.
Yes. But one has to ask why it is July.
Ah, yep.
But that's because it's no longer June and not yet August. But next week, of course, big surprise, folks, it's going to be August already. If we last that long.
I'm not ready. Yeah.
I'm not ready either. And then it will be autumn and winter, and who knows what misfortunes the planet has in store for us then. Okay, but let's get on with the nice stuff. Running away to our virtual worlds. At least we can go there and hide until the servers come down and leave us with nothing. And yeah, as I say, week ending 26th of July 2020. And I've introduced myself, but I've forgotten to introduce James. James Atlow sitting here beside me.
Well, hello, Mal.
Now, hello, James. James is invisibly twiddling knobs and looking at monitors and mixing video so that you can actually see my desktop as I talk, as well as my avatar here. So it's all very mixed up, but functional.
That is true. I am
Function,
very mixed up.
very mixed up, but functional with a purpose.
All right.
And that purpose is to deliver news about virtual worlds and haptic technology, computer interfacing, basically, and stuff like that, all mixed up together. And the general feed at Malbones covers a bit of everything, really. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm also going to start on June the 25th. Where did this? Okay, well, this is a good start. This
Oh
link
my. Okay.
is June the 25th instead of yesterday, which was July 25th. Anyway, why not? Why not? This is actually a site called. Oh, I don't believe it. I can't see. I can't see the web address at the top anymore. Oh, that was the other thing. Opera upgraded during the week, and it affected all my tabs. So the
Oh.
all the toolbar buttons now hide the address, so I've got to go to full screen if I want to change addresses. Never you mind, never you mind. I will see if I can find out what is happening here. There are other ways I can do it. Basically, I'm at a site called VC Cafe, and the post is about virtual worlds then, now, and what is coming next, basically. And telling us that virtual worlds aren't new, for example, and a few videos you can play, Unreal Engine, and a presentation called Getting There Towards the Metaverse, and bits and pieces from everywhere, really. Um, yeah, they're fairly accurate in what they call the metaverse here, really, but they're really covering a lot of different platforms, but platforms that are not particularly gamey. So it's an interesting sort of little article. Um, I have to now figure out how. What that was 25th. Right, this is a good start. I should have thought of this before it happened. Right, this is the Ghost Howls blog at the beginning of the week, as always. This is July 20th. This is Scarred Ghost's XR week peak. And I will get there in a second. All I've got to do is scroll down to 6 days ago, basically. And here we are. Here we are. The site you want here is scarredghost.com. That's SKARREDGHOST.com. And yeah, you'd have to look at the front to find this post there. They post once or twice a day. So you're talking about, about 10 posts ago, something like that. But this is a regular XR week peak that they actually do. Conveniently, the day after this show, so some of the stuff that I would never cover is on here um, for your enjoyment, really. So, as I say, scarredghost.com. Right, moving on. Just getting a bit finicky here because I've got to try and. Oh, come on, clues. Thank you. Right, this is a site called The 45. And oh, we got a nice picture. I got this is Nona Jetta, indeed. Um, this site, if I can find it again. Um, oh yeah, the45.com. So that's TheFortyfive.com. And this is in their opinion section, again posted on, I guess it was Monday, 16th of July. This is entitled Post Pandemic Pop and the Rise of the Digital Avatar. And lovely, lovely sort of title, really. I guess you can guess what it's about here. It's like a digital pop show. I'm sorry, digital pop stars are shaking up the music industry, but what does that mean for authenticity, accessibility, and pop music post pandemic? Well, anybody's guess, really, but this article does attempt to speculate. And includes talking to this lady Jetta. That is not an avatar, by the way. You might think it is.
What? Yeah, I
That
would.
that is a performer called Jetta, and I believe that's a costume she wears. Anyway,
Hmm.
it's got one of her official videos too, um, and the Japanese. That one is an avatar. Well, actually, that's not an avatar either. It's a hologram on stage. So this is putting beta digital avatars, isn't it? Oh God, I've got a thing here. Dismiss, please. Got a calendar pop up every 2 seconds. Right. Instagram digital avatars outcasts. You'll have to read this to understand it. But if you're interested in pop and entertainment and the way it might be going, especially in the use of holograms, avatars, and hybrids, then well worth reading. Nona has given me a chance to be reborn and not to have any of the pressures associated with how closely linked my music is to me and how I live within myself, says Jetta. Um, she functions like a portal, a vessel through which she can live vicariously, etc., etc. Right. Okay. So, did I get you? Yes, I did, wasn't it? The 45.com is the site you want there. And we'll dispose of Jetta for now. Right, what's going on here? Oh yes, I scrolled down, haven't I? Okay, High Fidelity, which used of course to be a virtual world, is no longer. It has been succeeded by Tivoli, a brand new client model on High Fidelity, and a variant of High Fidelity called Vicadia. Um, but High Fidelity, the company still goes, and they have an audio product, which actually is quite appropriate given the name High Fidelity, really. They've been in beta for a few weeks, so oh well, be available. There's not much beta about it, but they've added a few new features for virtual event organizers. Basically, if you're used to using um, well, the idea is you get a little map, something like that, where I'm twiddling, and within that map, you get little circles representing people. Now, inside those circles will be your own face if you've uploaded a picture of yourself. And the idea is the space is big enough that people can wander around vertically on that map to, have water cooler conversations. So you can hold a meeting in high fidelity. Everybody can log in, but they can then split off into groups, and they're just about in earshot of the middle, But somebody right up there and somebody down here can't really hear each other's conversation, so it's all spatial, sort of proximity based, and unlike say a Zoom call or even a Microsoft gobbledygook, you can reposition yourself basically in a meeting to be away from be with only the people you want to chat to, or you can converge in the center and literally be with everybody, and they've got slightly different voice levels depending how far they are from you talking in the center. So it's also very quick and easy. It launches straight onto the web, and it gives you a link, and you then send that to people by whatever method you want, and they can immediately join you there for as long as you're there, basically. This post just includes little tweets about what you can do with appearance and audio and stuff like that, and um, um, well, just some extra things they've added to make it better. Oh, and they do provide you with background templates for the map if you want them. This is the latest one here that came up. Right, my Zoomy toy is not going to work on it, so never mind. Yeah, weird things like a piano up there, and it's an open space sort of garden and fountain stuff for meetings. That's their latest one. But what is possibly better is that you can upload your own. And indeed, I haven't done it yet, but I've got an aerial shot of the city. Um, taken from somewhere that I quite like, and I'm sort of vaguely planning to upload it into Mail for that. And that could be kind of fun because it's not obvious where you will want to go, but you will presumably be able to see the dots on the map showing where people are, and you could sort of wander around this city trying to, from the air, as it were. There's no 3D involved, to actually find people. It's just a bit more fun than a simple garden where you can sort of see where everybody is. But I don't know what resolution the background image can be, so I have to investigate that a little bit before I do it. Anyway, that news is stuff you will find at, where are we here? Um, uh, High Fidelity, HIGHFIDELITY.com, and then slash blog um, for that particular post. Right, let's put that one away. And here we're at Science Daily. Again, this is an easy one. ScienceDaily.com. Science Daily is squashed into one word, as you might expect. Here we go. Here we go. The squashing again. Yes. Science Daily. I'm not going to spell that for you. I consider you to be more intelligent than needing that. Um, all one word. .com. 3D hand sensing wristband signals future of wearable tech. This is yeah, a sort of academic thing really, or scientific thing. Sources: Cornell University. Potential breakthrough in wearable sensing technology. Researchers designed a wrist-mounted device that continuously tracks the entire hand, a human hand, is in 3D. Um, so um, wearable sensing technology. I presume it's on the wrist, so it doesn't need a glove, but it can. Right, it can sense the whole hand. Anyway, it's in the form of a sorry, a basement, a bracelet, and it's called Finger Track. Finger, as you would expect, but track is spelled TRAK, and again, it's a squashed phrase, so to speak. Do I make sense when I refer to squash phrases? I don't know. Finger track, finger track.
Uh, right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, yawn, says James. Right. Okay. So find out more. But this is 4 days ago, so it's a release, press release thing at scientificdaily.com. It's in the post title is 3D hand sensing wristband signals future of wearable tech. Right, now moving up to South Seattle Mermaid? That can't be right. Hang on, let me find what the next one. Maybe I don't need that. Oh no, no. Right, this is a British paper. Oh, no, they rarely have links for our show or anything to this site. This is a British paper. It's like New Scientist and New Society. It's simply called New Statesman. Um, with more to look about, statesmanship and not so much civil society and, of course, politics too. Um, they've just had an article saying beyond Zoom. So they assume everybody knows what Zoom is. The new tech that will transform remote working. There must be more to the future of the virtual office than video conferencing. And presumably that's a virtual office with everybody looking the other way from each other in virtual reality.
That's hilarious.
Um, so much for getting together. This one looks like he's about to bump into this one. That one looks like he's scared shitless to move, but he's got his hands out just in case he falls over. And that one is gawking in wonder. Yeah. Anyway, lockdown has seen a boom in remote working. Tech giants like Facebook and Twitter are also working on it. Beyond Zoom is um, Zoom superseded Skype, etc., etc. What other tools are on the horizon? And then it goes off to investigate. There's quite a lot to this one, if I remember. Yeah. Um, the paragraphs aren't actually broken down into subtitles or anything. So basically, it just talks. Um, Again, it does make a point about VR headsets, which make you feel like you're in the same room as somebody thousands of miles away, etc., etc. Um, Arguably, I mean, I think whoever wrote this article thinks that the wearing of headsets um, is a plausible future. Although I was listening to Germany. Yeah, he's from Stanford's VR lab a couple of hours ago, and asking, they were talking about headsets and everything. And one of the last questions he was asked if he thinks that applies to a 2D screen too, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm on a 2D screen."
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm virtual reality is my work, but I'm never in there for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time. And he says, especially when I got to speak or deliver lectures, the last thing I want to be doing is trying to control the virtual world haptically while I'm doing it. It just makes more sense to do it like we're doing it here on a 2D screen. But anyway, this article seems to have been talking to Zuckerberg too much. They seem to be convinced the headset is the thing. But anyway, that is that. And what was it? It wasn't Seattle. I can't. Oh God, what Beyond Zoom? Beyond Zoom. I can't find the link to the Earl. I'm going to leave that on screen in case I can actually find that in a minute. It's basically a New Statesman, but I just look at the side of my screen here, and I can't actually see a link for New Statesman, which is really a bit odd. Okay, moving on. This is ArtNet News. Um, I'm very sorry, folks, but something is a bit weird here. I'm going to have to shift very quickly over to news records in Slack here, which is the only other way I can easily find what I'm looking for. Right, Monday, where were we? Um, oh, well, I'm going to have to do something about my visible address bar. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Unfortunately, I can do it by widening the screen, but then you wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't match the box that is transmitting to James to broadcast to you. It's all the fault of Opera, and guess what? It's now even more. Now it won't even scroll. Oh God, let me move on. Okay. Um, this is a post at Nature. Again, I don't have the Earl handy. I would reiterate, actually, if any of these links are of interest to you, do check out my feed at twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns. Or the links to what I'm talking about today are all there. Plus others besides as well, because I can't cover everything that I cover in link form during the week. This is just a scientific article on auditory stimuli degrading visual performance in virtual reality. Gosh, that's a handful, isn't it? So you've got an abstract, an introduction, and then the results. There's probably a bigger paper somewhere looking around, but they've got a lot of it here. If you're interested in all that sort of technical, almost academic stuff, then you can find it at Nature. And just remember, auditory stimuli degrade. I mean, you can remember a title like that. So if you're on my Twitter feed, you'll recognize it immediately. That was posted 23rd of July, which is about 3 days ago now. Okay. Um, what is wrong? And now it doesn't want to put my tabs away. Oh, God. I think Windows has infected my Mac.
Oh,
Microsoft, what have you done?
okay.
It feels like a Microsoft problem. In other words, the scroll wheel's not working. Okay, let's move on. Right, here's another one for you. RatLab. Um, Mind Matters. Right, now again, I have no immediate idea. exactly where we're at here at all. Um, you'll have to go to my Twitter feed. So twitter.com/malbones. July 23rd here. A VR pioneer. The pioneer they are talking about is uh, Bob Thomas Furness. What's this? In a recent podcast, Rats in the Technology Lab, Walter Bradley Center Director Robert J. Marks continued his discussion with the grandfather of virtuality, Thomas Furness. Furness shares his tribulations and triumphs with Rat Lab, Rats in the Technology Lab,
Hmm.
which is an incubator for innovative ideas in technology. All the employees are rats. Brackets rocking and thinking.
Oh, okay.
And Furness is, of course, King Rat. So, how did it get started and what happened then? And there is a transcript you can read. There's a photo of Furness. But there's also an audio, which you can't really see on my screen here, but it's a matter of clicking on the arrow and it starts playing 30-minute audio. Is what it seems to be. I'm going to shut it up before it actually does play. Um, right, so this is Mind Matters. And again, I can't easily tell you what the actual link is at the moment, which is unfortunate, isn't it? Right, back on ArtNet News. Let me turn to the other end of the spectrum here. Okay, July 25th, that would have been yesterday. Virtual reality tools becoming more common in real world practice. This is at the Psychiatry and Behavioral Health Learning Network. See, everybody's getting on in on the act.
Oh yeah.
uh, anyway, cost dropping, graphics improving, and evidence that the base is growing. VR technology is positioned to play a bigger role in mental health care in the coming years. And yeah, they've had a conference, talked about it, etc., etc. And they've got meta analyses of VR interventions. Oh, gosh, golly, big words on this one. A tool, not a substitute. VR ranked fourth out of 45 clinical care options. So, obviously, quite a popular option for clinical care in a poll of 70 psychotherapy experts. Published in the journal Professional Psychology Research and Practice, but no, that's not this one. Okay, again, you have to go off to Twitter here, but unless you happen to know where Psychiatry and Behavioral Health Learning Network's website is, you will find it, no doubt. Right. Um, oh, God, now what am I doing? This is one of those days, isn't it? Right, okay. Now, this is a site called License Global. I don't know whether it's a .com, but the spelling is LICENSEGLOBAL. Um, um, I'm sure that will find it for you in Google. This is a post on the future of entertainment and how technological advances in entertainment will change everything. Now, as you might expect from a site called License Global, they're all to do with licensing of properties for merchandising and marketing and stuff like that. And it's obviously click that there are going to be major changes in the entertainment field, basically with everything moving online and less happening in what we call the organic world. Um, there was a panel called The Future of Entertainment and included thought leaders from the likes of Paramount Pictures and Steinberg Sports. Um, so you can guess, you can guess the focus. It was accessible, mind you. The actual panel has just been held at the San Diego Comic Con, which was a thing that has just been held and again has been held entirely virtually,
Hmm.
and it's been called Comic Con at Home. The at symbol, of course. Panelists in tech and entertainment gathered to talk about these rapid changes. Um, so they've given a little summary there. of what happened and what was talked about on that panel, and possibly where things are going. Um, as I said, the site you're looking for here is License Global. If you go to my Twitter feed, you will. Oh, Informer. It might be part of a greater site called Informer, actually. License Global is part of Informer Markets. No, no, we don't need that. Yes. Okay. So moving on from that one. All right. Not being able to read out all these earls is making the news a lot quicker, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and I like how
Oh,
you said
I,
earlier, I don't need to read it to you because you probably can figure it out. So I was going, okay, maybe we'll zip through it today.
well, I quite like reading it out. I mean, people might be listening to this audio or lose it for a replay and does not
Mm-hmm.
have any way of remembering the ills I read out. But I think by reading them out, if people have got a pen and paper handy, they can probably do the old-fashioned thing of
Oh, yeah.
the old analog trick of it's quite simple actually. You just need a bit of flat white stuff, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
used to call it something like the thing they used to call paper, and then you have this little stick. It may actually have a little bit of lead in it, or it may have a roly thing and ink, and this is called a pen, more commonly referred to these days as a stylus, but actually it was a stylus before it became a pen, and now it's become a stylus again, if you see what I mean. Anyway, you put some pen on that paper, and you sort of make a mark of the information you want to record, and it's just like a sticky note on your screen. It's remarkable, and it will stay there unless you throw the paper in your bin, which does happen quite a lot. Anyway, that's my tip of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Pen or pencil and paper.
Very good.
Rediscovery time. Rediscovery time. Go old school. Now you're all stuck at home. You don't even need to worry about carrying the pad around in your bag because you're not going out. You're not going anywhere. Right. Okay. Can virtual reality really get you fit? However, interesting. This is posted in the Observer, which is the Sunday. It really is just a Sunday edition of Britain's Guardian newspaper. It's Monday to Saturday it's the Guardian, on Sunday it's the Observer, but online it's pretty much the Guardian anyway. Um, Let me see. I'm just going to scroll up my list here. I might be. Um, oh, right. That site, License Global, by the way, is licensegglobal.com. I've got my sidebar up here so I can see. Can virtuality really get you fit? This one we're looking at now. It's theguardian.com/technology, and that was today, Sunday, 26th of July. Um, TheGuardian.com. As I said, the Observer is simply the Sunday name for the Guardian. And yeah, it's looking at we're all trapped at home and everything. Can you actually use virtuality to get fit? And they look at the various options here. Um, Effectively, they are looking at the good old headset jobs where you've got your whole body attached to various haptics that enable to do exercises. But there are other things too. I mean, I don't like the headset idea, but I mean, I wouldn't mind if I had a spare space in the corner one of these bikes, that's actually an exercise bike, but you can get ones that actually have an iPad-like screen on them, and just load your favorite virtual world and pedal through it, or pedal through it, but pretend you're on a horse in the virtual world. That's quite a good one. Um, anyway, they're looking into all that, and there's a Guardian, pretty respectable paper there.
Do
They've
they
done a
answer the question?
That's a really good point. Um,
that's
I mean,
that's
we
my
see a
point.
lot of headlines with that well, I think they sort of do in the sense of 10 of the best apps. It's not a gym killer yet, but it can be an alternative for some people, complement for others.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you know,
I
um,
mean, I know you can use
they
a
they don't.
chair. You can use a chair to get fit. So I suspect you can probably use VR to get fit as well. there. The article
Well,
is answered.
the rate with which I am putting on weight, I'll probably just break the chair.
No, but there are chair exercises where you stand up and use the back of the chair as your tool
Yeah,
to become fit. So,
I
yes.
know. I'm a very wriggly, fidgety person. Which means that even when I'm getting unhealthy, I still do. I'm not somebody that can sit still easily. you know.
Hmm.
So, but I mean that actually helps with tactile things in my hands and arms and the things I'm using all the while, even when I'm sitting down, obviously. But I shrug my shoulders and do things like that that many people want thing to do. So I'm exercising the joints a bit up there.
Hmm.
The problem is the belly, isn't it? Because when you're in lockdown, and finding the food deliveries aren't exactly watching the sugar anymore.
Yeah.
When you order online, you don't always get a very good view of all the ingredients. Whereas when I go to a shop, I rather check absolutely the full ingredients of what I want. Ordering online, that's not always possible. And so, it's okay with products but if it's something else, you sort of guess, you think, oh, that sounds safe, and then you get it, and you forget
Well,
to
and
read
my,
the
my point is with the
ingredients.
journalism, of course, because, you
Yeah.
know, headlines that are questions are clickbait if they don't answer the question.
Oh,
And
sure,
that
sure.
lowers my respect of the journalistic source. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Um, I had another couple of articles from the Guardian today, actually, which I posted on Facebook. Totally different things,
Hmm.
to do about social collapse and all sorts of things, but not related to this. But it's one of my preferred outlets. I mean, I would. There are a lot of places you just can't trust the news these days. But they're pretty serious journalists at the Guardian, and
Yeah. Well, their
they
headline writers could stand to grow up. There, I've said it. I'm done now.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the intention. Maybe the without being rude, maybe Stuart Dredge, the journalist in this case, maybe he's a bit diminutive or something, and in his quest to grow up, he's
Mm.
asking, can virtual reality get him fit?
Hmm. Well,
So there. My apologies to Stuart Dredge if he happens to be listening. I very much doubt it, but there we go.
all right.
Right. What else can we dredge up?
Ah, yep.
I'm sorry, Stuart. You got me going.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
If anybody out there knows Stuart, point him to my Facebook. Right. Okay. We'll get rid of that one, won't we? With the Guardian. That was right. Okay. We now got another another post here. Yeah. Virtual reality study provides insight into how anxious individuals can reduce the threat of magnification tendencies. Oh God, don't you love these headlines?
Hmm.
What
As
do you
I.
think about that headline,
Yeah.
James? Can
Yeah.
you? Well, apparently that's not a question. Apparently the study provides
That's
insight.
true. That's true.
It doesn't necessarily provide any conclusion, but it does provide insight. Um, on how anxious individuals can reduce threat magnification tendencies. Yeah, well, I guess the idea is that if you're a very sensitive person in virtuality, you might perceive threats, and virtuality itself magnifies those tendencies. I don't know what the hell they're talking about,
Yeah.
actually. But this is what psychologists and psychiatrists will do, isn't it?
Yeah, I would think
During
similar
a
to post-traumatic stress therapy.
yeah,
By
during a
exposing yourself to it in a safe environment, you can overcome
yeah,
it.
that's actually yeah, a kind of known thing.
Hmm.
During fear-inducing virtual experience, anxious individuals tend to overemphasize the threat, leading to increased skin conductance and higher subjective distress. So it actually sounds to those kind of experiments about firing, because the effect in virtuality is greater than the fear they have in real life. But
Hmm.
there should be a question on this headline, shouldn't there? Really?
No, no, please no, please no.
No, simply because they're inconclusive from the start. Anyway, you're going to find this at where's it gone? Psypost.org, psypost.org. And yes, there you go. Don't panic. Don't panic. It won't eat you.
Would
Right.
Charles Dickens write a headline with a question?
Um, well, I know who did. I know who did.
Yeah, yeah.
William Shakespeare.
Oh,
To be or
to
not to
be.
be? That is the question.
Well, it's not a headline though.
Well, it might as well be. It's treated like one, isn't it?
Oh,
The
okay,
people,
all right.
people who know nothing else know that one. I think. To be or not to be? Maybe
Hmm.
it's not a question. I don't know where they had question marks in his day. Never mind. Right, out of the rabbit hole and into the fire, no doubt.
Yep.
Everything we know about the new Oculus Quest. Well, and Oculus Go. This is Scar Ghost. Yet again, I hasten to add. So it's SKARREDGHOST.com. And there were rumours all week that the Passport people were developing a new Oculus to replace the Oculus Quest or version 2 of the Oculus Quest, new improved thing. And yeah, well, there were just more and more every day. I don't know that there's been any official information yet, but basically the result of all the rumours and everything else had people investigating, including Scar Ghost, who's sort
Yeah.
of pulled it all together here, really. Um, Bloomberg had reported that they were working on a new Quest with a 90 hertz display, better resolution, and improved ergonomics. And yeah, Chinese magazine joined in the fray. Then a Japanese publication. Yeah, you get the idea. They're all blabbering about it. So he's basically rounded up all the information they do, including this is going around everywhere. This sort of screenshots of the picture, which apart from the color white, doesn't actually make me think it doesn't look any different from. Well, I haven't got an Oculus Quest, so
Yeah.
maybe
The camera positions have changed. There's no pupil
um,
distance adjustment. Um,
oh,
the screens have been changed. The head strap no longer uses Velcro on the sides. It uses a knob. So there's a variety of things that are kind of more
so is
Go-like in
it?
some ways. Yeah,
So do you think it's designed to be a cheaper version of the Quest?
I do. Yeah,
Right, it's
yeah,
not an advanced version. It's a make it cheaper
yep,
move. Ah, interesting. Okay, well, Tony, what's his name, has got all the information here that you can get. Oh, there's a picture from the aerial view, and it's not white. Um, okay. Well, will you? I presume you won't be lining up to get one of these, James, in any hurry, given that you actually
I,
have the real Quest.
yeah. I don't think so. It remains to be
Mm.
seen if there are internal electronic improvements, that would be another thing. But I've not read that yet. But I mean, this is still rumor and speculation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Very true. I would normally stick to news and not speculation, but this
Yeah.
one's got an awful lot of it.
Right. Right.
So, if you're in the fan club, this is where you want to go and
And I'm
read it.
sure Facebook's enjoying the
Yeah.
press, so no
Yes,
problems
exactly.
there.
Yeah, that's a unfortunate side effect, isn't it?
Right.
All right. Okay. So, new Oculus on the horizon, and that roundup is at scarredghost.com. Moving on again now. This is, I think there are three Voices of VR podcasts this week. Voices of VR, VR in letters of course, VOICESOFVR.com. And this is the only one I've actually pulled up. This is reporting on an ethics and privacy in mixed reality panel, which was at the IEEE VR academic researchers thing. And don't quite remember. I'm not sure which world that is, but that's where it was. We should have a competition on this program. Guess the world.
That's Mozilla Hubs.
Oh, it is Hubs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
fine. That figures. Right. Well, yes, and you would know that. Okay. Lots of references to go with this article, by the way. So even if you're not interested in the quick roundup, you might be interested in the links to these various publications on ethics and privacy.
Hmm.
Right. So find out at voicesofvr.com, and when you get there, you'll also find. Let me see the other ones of the week. I think there's a thing on play therapy. Um, Yeah, that was this week. That was July 21st. I think there was another one too, but you'll find out when you get there anyway. But this is by far the most interesting one. Right, moving on. And we're again, he's getting a good look in this week. This is Scarred Ghost again. SKARREDGHOST .com. And this is as well as the big piece on Oculus just now. He's done a full review of B Haptics, the device where you feel your body in VR with this haptic suit. Now, when this guy does reviews, he doesn't do them by half.
Mm.
I'll be here another hour if I have to scroll through this review. No, I won't. But basically, the unboxing, he does the whole works, everything from the unboxing, the design, the comfort. He looks at just about everything you
Yeah,
can
very nice.
possibly
Yep.
look at, including how you have to set it up and everything else like that. Um, it's the actual system is something we um, that was news on a recent, probably last week, but this is his full review. So, scarredghost.com again for that one. Um, wearable haptics. Hang on a second. Oh yes, we're still in the right department. Right. Wearable haptics simulate the sense of touch in virtual reality. This is a site called Tech Explore. Yes, TECHXPLORE.com. And that was July 24th, a couple of days ago. It's actually easy for me to get to the links for all these recent ones, which is why I'm back to reading out links,
Mm.
by the way.
Mm.
It's the earlier ones that were a problem. Yeah, here we go. Wearable haptics simulate sensitive touch in virtuality. Um, that goes without saying, really, but it's a specialized site. This is interesting. It's in English, but it sounds like it was published by the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne. That would be the Federal Polytechnic School of Lausanne, and Lausanne is France, I think, or is it
Mm.
Switzerland? I'm not sure, but
Oh
anyway, it doesn't
boy.
matter. It's in English for us.
Yep.
Um, Yeah. So it's basically talking about a couple of people who are actually working on haptics in the field in general. Okay, put that one away. All right. Now, today, I think that was no. This would have been no. This would have been Friday actually. Forbes have Charlie Fink's weekly roundup this week in XR. So where Scar goes give it you on Monday, then Forbes and Charlie Fink have a go at doing the same thing on Friday over at Forbes. Snap AR owns mobile, Apple Glass teased by patents, and Meet the Scan truck and Snap. Basically, it's a roundup of everything they think is worthy of mention in the XR field, which of course is VR, AR, MR, and everything but RR really.
I want to
RRB.
meet the scan truck. What's the scan truck?
Um,
Is it
I'm
what it sounds
just
like?
I'm just wondering. I don't know that one.
Oh,
Go away pop-ups. I might better find out if I could get rid of the pop-ups. Um,
a mobile scanning studio, if I take it literally.
Free stage for hosting events in Mozilla Hubs. I know. Blipper is a product launch that took place in augmented reality. That's a smartphone. Oculus have introduced Travel Together, which means you can
Oh
join
yeah, yeah,
games together as a group.
yeah.
Um, um, Microsoft posted record game revenue. top grossing titles. Meet the Scan Truck. Yeah, right there. They enabled pop stars Selena Gomez and Trevor Daniels' avatars to star in a new volumetric music video. Preserved in digital amber, the avatars are perfect, super high resolution 3D models that can star in movies and
Oh,
video games,
okay.
do their own stints, and, most importantly, live forever.
Live forever.
There is already an agency that now represents avatars of dead celebrities.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Um, so that about is the scan trade. Does this, I don't know
Doesn't
whether.
say.
Well, I
Yeah.
wonder if they've invented the name scan truck to describe this,
Yeah.
because it's the only reference to it. Meet the scan truck. I mean, presumably the implication is they're scanning dead people or material to compose avatars of dead people,
Yeah.
and then the agency is representing them as if they were alive and making money out of it. Probably
Hmm.
wouldn't surprise me at all. Although they usually have to contend with the estates of the more well-known one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so a little roundup of some interesting stuff there that we obviously didn't get to cover elsewhere. Okay, and finally, we're back on ArtNet News. This is the one that went haywire on me at the beginning. So I'm going to see if I can reload it. Oh, yeah, there we are. Yes, it was a pretty. Pugger! Ah, pardon my language, folks.
It's
I'm just going to try one little trick. And no, turning off dark mode doesn't make any difference either. Apparently, it doesn't want to. Maybe it's a paywall at ArtNet, and they really don't want me to look at it. They allow me to look at it long enough to tell you to go and look at it, but not for me to go back to it. Okay, okay. Let me see. Immersive art experiences. Where are we? Do, 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 do. Um, hmm, right. Well, this is wonderful. It doesn't seem to know where. I've done that. Tech Explore. But, right, we do. Okay. While I'm at it, by the way, you saw this one earlier. I now have the URL in front of me. It's mindmatters.ai. So MINDMATTERS dot AI. And I posted the Verge here too while I'm at it, since I'm in my scrolling mode. Over half of US kids are playing something called Roblox, and it's about to
oh
host
yeah.
Fortnite-esque virtual parties too.
Hmm.
So it looks like another more of a gaming thing is now moving into entertainment and social things. This is one of Epic Games' things, and of course, well, we had news last week or the week before on the uh, Epic Games are buying up all sorts of stuff. They own Roblox, and they have Fortnite, and then of course Sony moved in was last week, wasn't it, to buy up Epic Games? So I don't know. It's takeover territory this year as well. Right. Anyway, but apparently Roblox wants to. It's shown that people, especially kids, are willing to flock to attractive virtual spaces to hold meetings and parties as a way to socialize during the pandemic. Many of these kids are playing robots too, and the company told The Verge that over half of US kids and teens under the age of 16 play the game. So they're moving into that. Now, I think we can assume for now that the any social world they're coming up with is going to be aimed at the same demographic that's already there. So maybe this will be a bit like Second Life's old Teen Grid, maybe. Who knows?
Hmm.
Um, Also, I suspect very highly controlled in terms of content, but we'll see. Uh, right, you to get to this link. Um, it's The Verge, yes. So THEVERGE and you'll find that posted there. That was 2 days ago. Um, Right, that one's a repeat. So this is the one I can't get up, and I have no idea where it is. Um, oh, this is a funny one. I didn't have this loaded, but I've just seen it. Right. Side post. Yet again, another VR study apparently shows how easy. Oh, come on. How easy it is to get people to think, to
Oh.
incorrectly think they're in the presence of
Mm-hmm.
another being.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this apparently correlates with you're walking on your own through a spooky wood at night or something, and something spooks you, and actually there may be nobody there, but you convince yourself that you think there's somebody lurking, and you keep turning around and you get spooked and whatever. And they're finding similar things with virtual reality. That it's especially in like lonely places, it is it's immersive environments take you over, and they can play with your emotions if you get heavily engaged. Humans have a tendency to incorrectly detect another person or creature in their environments. This phenomenon is sometimes referred to as hypersensitive agency detected detection.
Okay.
New research utilized virtual reality technology to examine whether agency detection was associated with belief in the supernatural. And the studies suggest that people with stronger belief in supernatural agents are not more likely to falsely perceive other beings. This type of false perception, however, might be associated with certain superstitions. Findings appear in a journal, Religion, Brain and Behavior. That's an interesting sounding journal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, this is where, as usual, the researchers are dabbling in VR to see what they can come up with. That's must be an old Oculus. Look at it. Oh,
Yes.
yes, it's the original dev kit. Tara
Yeah,
had
it
one of
looks
those.
like it.
That's the one Tara had. I think she
Okay.
refused to wear it when she realised how heavy it was.
Very heavy.
Right. Yeah.
Looks like some
Uh,
Sennheiser headphones thrown on the side too.
yeah. Oh, I like Sennheiser.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the headphones on my Mac, which I'm not wearing now, are Sennheiser. Very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know about those ones though. Right, okay. So let's put that one away, and oh, we're back to okay. The reason I'm just might as well have a look at this is virtualityreporter.com. Looking at the Boobla group who are partnering with something called DAFO for off-the-shelf fire emergency training. As you can see, she's putting out a little fire, except she's also wearing a headset to do it. I don't quite, well, maybe it helps her keep a distance and see what's going on. I don't know, something like that. Um, oh, yeah, there's a site called Play Canvas. It's WebGL. It's a mass increasing number of things, virtual world type things on the web. You can build on yourself or collaboratively visualizations and games using HTML5. Just because it says it's a game engine doesn't mean you can't actually use it for making virtual worlds. And that is, as you can see, it's not quite as complex as Unity, though I wonder how easy it is to pick up, to be honest. That is the WebGL editor, which is actually in the browser, and it has live updates and works across multiple devices. So if you make an update to a scene on one device in the browser, it's the updates are reflected in the same scene in on your mobile browser or whatever. And fast load times, mobile browser support, built for Teams, and the main thing about it is that it is a totally open source project, so you're not getting tied up in any corporate shenanigans if you want to play that. So their sites, where are we? It's fairly easy. It's playcanvas.com, playcanvas.com. And oh, we had earlier on, we had Beyond Zoom, New Tech Transforming Remote Working. That was a site called The New Statesman. That is actually very simple. It's newstatesman.com, NEWSTATESMAN.com. And oh, I'll give you this one too. I don't think we had anything else from them this week. There's a site called No Prosceninium. I have no idea what that means. I've been too lazy to look up a dictionary or thesaurus or anything. They're called, as you can see where my mouse is, it's no proscenium or whatever. And yep, their actual well, the site is noproscenium.com. And this is looking at the Museum of the Realities, which was the host venue for the Cannes XR Festival. And it's basically a review feature on being virtually at Cannes XR. And Kathy, you. um, yeah, posted July 22nd, just a couple of days ago. This is this is also well, you go to the proscenium or whatever they're called, and you'll get it. The page is actually hosted at Medium, but it's obviously one of the ones that doesn't go through their paywall. And little picture showing what it was like being at Cannes this
Interesting
year.
avatars, yeah.
Yeah, you show that to somebody who doesn't know what we're talking about, saying, "But that's a picture of a Cannes this year." And they'll say, "What?" It's not quite a Cannes festival they know, is it? But yeah, it's a long review this, so actually, yes, I'm glad I pulled that one up for you. Again, the link is on my Twitter feed, twitter.com/malburns. Um, Privacy Summit of Voices of VR, I think. Did I load this one? AR and VR applications set for growth in manufacturing. This is a site out called Design News. Oh, I didn't have it up earlier, but you might as well have it now. Again, it's a roundup post, and the address you want is design.news.com. So it's design news. There's two N's next to each other in the middle of that one. And I think actually that is it as far as my main choice of headlines this week is. I'll keep that one up because it sort of applies a little bit to what's coming up. Switching now to, I mentioned we do have another feed at Twitter. It's twitter.com/, Metaworld News after the show. That contains links specifically about things in virtual worlds, various platforms ranging from Open Simulator through to Vicardia, Tivoli, Samsar here, and a few others. It doesn't cover Second Life because I do actually have yet another Twitter account called twitter.com/malbones_writer, which covers machinima, destinations, arts, etc. in Second Life. That name with the underscore in it is my avatar name in that particular platform. Right. So this is one I had earlier. It's actually been up in both feeds 6 days ago. This is VC Cafe, the one I started with. Virtual Worlds Now, Then, and Next. It was actually posted 6 days ago, but it says June 25th, as we said earlier. Anyway, the only extra reason for this is to give you the real link, and that is vccafe.com. VC Cafe for that article. Now, also on the feed, MD, sorry, M2D Hub. That was basically a video embed for another event that was held here, where we are now in. I Oh, it's just gone dead. Oh no, here it is. Right,
Hmm?
right here in Sansar actually. If you want to check it out on YouTube, their channel is called M2D Channel. You can see that I think on screen there at the yeah. Oh no, no, right. I'm just looking at James's thing. Um, yeah, there you are. That's it. M2D Channel. Entry area for experiences in Sansar. And as you can see, nicely filmed this one.
Hmm.
Various activities going on. I have no idea where the sound is. I'm, I'm not too bothered actually, but yeah, internal.
Second
Oh,
Life.
volume. Ah, the volume was switched off. So you can see that we're broadcasting from Soundfall at the moment, but this is a nice example of what stuff is like here. And this is 4 minutes, 50 minutes long. I'm obviously not going to play the whole thing for you, but there it is. Now, on to what you might call the regular stuff. For those of you who heard when I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Maria Khalidov had been in hospital, I was online with her plotting. On Thursday,
Plotting. Okay.
yeah, well, she's back to normal, so she's got a hole in her chest where she has to screw in something or other.
Mm-hmm.
She insisted on showing me as well. But yeah, she's says she's feeling back to normal, better than ever, in fact.
Oh,
So
good.
we'll see. However, the reason that triggered that is that 4 days ago, Hypergrid Business posted. Um, July actives down on 3D Love, Zeta Worlds stat drops, and oh, sorry, Zeta Worlds stat. Yeah, that's right. So very general. This is David Karuki's post. Um, OpenSim users dropped by about 3,500 this month. But this is partly to do with the 3D Love Grid, which had problems reporting their stats, which actually accounted the previous month for at least 3,000 of them. So the drop may not be that significant. Though there was apparently 1,000 drop on Zeta Worlds, which is quite a big drop for a single server.
Mm.
Um, on the other hand, the Tesla OpenSim land area expanded by more than 800 regions. OS Grid got the highest increase, Tag Grid, followed by Virtual Dream, Digital Worlds, and Caesar Worlds. Caesar Worlds had 46 new regions despite the drop in numbers reported above. Anyway, as usual, Maria has produced a graph, and it works with my Zoomy toy, it does. Just don't know if it counts for anything. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I thought leaving the music on might be nice, but I'm getting a
Uh,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll forget that. Right. Now you can hear me again.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, top 25 grids by active users. Again, the hypergrid business tend to actually publish a post, and then you realise there's actually about 20 other posts that you didn't see attached to them. But basically, these are 25 most popular grids this month. OS Grid, these are all open sim grids that are on the hypergrid. Um, uh, but I don't think it totally includes the Outworlds grids, which use a different reporting system. So OS Grid at the top, DigiWorld's next, Metropolis next, which is no real surprise. Tag Grid, interesting, in fourth position, and then Kitely in fifth. Um, Avi Worlds is at number eight. Must be a mistake there, surely. Um, well, maybe they just lost the string of the yo-yo. So they've got Rock Grid are way down, 23. Um, yeah, well, there's a list there anyway. Reports on the Kitely market and the new options at Virtualville marketplace. And Tag Grid has its own marketplace too. That might explain why it's very popular. WordPress modules for OpenSim on the way. Oh, good news for those who want to integrate WordPress and Open Simulator. Oh, I see. So it's an automatic connection for, say, a grid's website with the Open Simulator grid itself using, it allows WordPress to connect to the robust database, and you would be able to use the WordPress blog, for example, to choose your avatar and things. Interesting that. Um, Anyway, I don't know what it is with some of the hypergrid business things. There's more here than I read when it came up. It's almost like they've added new things at the bottom of the post, which have nothing to do with the title of the post. Anyway, 40 grids by land area. Whoa, look at all that. Right, now, having said that, I believe I've got another. Yes, I've got another post on hypergrid business. This one is the most popular hypergrid worlds, um, which is a separate post. Instead of the top 20 or whatever, this has got a very, very long list of the most popular worlds. I don't know it includes all the worlds they know of. It certainly looks like it. Looks like 100 of them or more. Some of these I've never heard of, and as far as I know, there's nobody come into our Discord hub for many of them yet. But I might be wrong. There's so many. It's very difficult. If people don't come into the Discord channel and plug it, then I have no way of incorporating it if I don't know about it. So anybody out there, if you're part of a grid that is not included in our Meta World Explorers Discord channel, check us out and bring your grid in, and I will do my best to get it listed or give it a section. Right, okay. Well, that's hypergrid business. A lot going on there, actually, really, isn't there? Okay. Yeah, we looked at that. We looked at oh yes, the yo-yo grid. Hypergrid business again. They're busy this week. Although it's all David Karuki, it's not actually Maria. AviWorlds. This is the yo-yo grid. They're celebrating 1,000 users. Gosh golly, with COVID-19 fundraiser. Yeah, I'm getting very cynical about some of these activities in virtual worlds at the moment. I mean, I can understand virtual worlds are popular because of COVID, but they all seem to be coming up with excuses for having COVID parties or COVID fundraisers. And um, uh, well, how a grid with only 1,000 users, let alone a few concurrently, I can't really take seriously that they're having a fundraiser for the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. I mean, yeah, good luck to them. I just don't see it raise anything that would be even noticeable. But uh, good thinking, I
Hmm.
guess, especially for the yo-yo grid. All right, this is there. It hasn't bounced down again. Okay, another video. Very quickly here. Is another one from Sansar here. Walk the Green Mile here in Sansar, and oh, I just love this. Um, I have an ad blocker which blocks ads on YouTube, but for some reason, some videos now, there we go. You instead of showing me the thing saying skip ads, it shows me nothing and leaves me waiting.
That looks like my home in Sansar.
Yes, like everybody's home in Sansa.
Everybody's home in Sansar.
I like Isabel Sharon. She also can be very funny.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
I thought this video as well. But okay, I'm trying to close the window in the video. Yeah. Um, nice and exploratory here too. This one's about 8 minutes long, so it's quite a thing. But
Hmm.
she's never short of words. Oh, she's going to the WC, is she? Oh God, is she going to get funny there? Never mind. Um, Again, I'm gonna put that away because both those videos in the Metaworld news feed are worthy of your watching. I think I've probably posted them elsewhere and other feeds too. Right. Also, blog.mozvr.com. This is Mozilla Hubs. Um, there's a browser plugin being released for Unity. I mean, a lot of people build their worlds and things in Unity. That picture, I'm almost certain that picture is Unity. Yes. Um, but let's see. Um, Previously, we made it possible to export web-based experiences from Unity. Today, we're excited to show some early work addressing the other way that Unity developers want to use the web as a component in their Unity-based virtual environments. So, I think the idea here really is that it will allow, um, it will, you'll be able to port the browser engine, emphasis on browser, into other platforms and embed it. And so if you work in Unity, you will have the option of embedding um, a web-based world inside a Unity world. So it's the reverse direction from exporting from Unity um, into Mozilla Hubs.
Hmm.
Um, yep, they got all the information there anyway. Firefox Reality AR for HoloLens 2. Their engine. Right, the Unity component employs a sort of thing called Servo, which I imagine is a bit like, oh, probably not Chrome, but WebKit, which I know Second Life used for a long while to serve their media on the prim. But it's a modern web engine written in the Rust language. But all this is Mozilla. Um, I'm not sure. I can sort of see. I mean, let's say somebody wanted to build something in a virtual world, which was an auditorium for events, for example, and uh, they could possibly put something like Mozilla Hubs onto a screen in that event place while they were building it in Unity, and then wherever they deployed it, it would be available, for people to step into from one world to another, I suppose, or at least watch. Um, I love the contradictions inherent in this a lot of this stuff, but it gets bloody confusing. I mean, worlds within worlds kind of thing.
Right.
For a long time, I wasn't very happy about virtual worlds on the web because I thought, well, you can't teleport from one place to the other, and they won't connect if they're web pages. But clearly, they are quite popular anyway. They're a different kind of thing. Um, you know, um, in many ways, it actually makes sense that people can get to virtual worlds on the web because everybody uses the web browser one way or the other. Even if you only use Facebook, you are actually on the web. Hey, kids, did you know that? Yes, Facebook actually is the internet. Well, it's part of the internet. I know some of you didn't realize that, but it is. It's just a part of the internet that's owned by a thing that one doesn't want to talk about. Um, rabbit hole, rabbit hole. What was I about to
Mm-hmm.
say? Um, yes, yeah. I mean, so you might click a link in your Facebook or something, and as you probably know, actually, if you click a link in Facebook, it can take you to a page on the web, which might be a virtual world. Um, it depends. Facebook's trick is usually to actually take you to a link on the web, but before it loads it, it puts it in an iframe at Facebook's site, an invisible iframe in a style sheet, which means that although you think you've gone left Facebook for a web page, you haven't. You're reading the web page in a browser, which is provided by Facebook in Facebook page. It's nasty stuff because they're tracking everything, including clicks from there. But and sometimes the iframe could break an actual because the complexity of some of these 3D virtual worlds on the web mean that putting them in an iframe or something will actually break some of their functionality. They've got a lot of functionality that starts at load up and is dependent on there being a standalone page on the web, not in somebody else's iframe, as it were. But that's another story entirely. No, no, no rabbit holes this week, is what I says. Right, and yeah, another final YouTube. post here at Metaworld News' site. This the user here is a chap called Zero Cheese. If you want to look him up,
Hmm.
ZERO and then cheese, as in the stuff here. And this is also Sansar, and this was actually yesterday. I didn't make it because I was at something else. But they have a weekly World Explorers, and they film it. And this was number 14. And if you really want to get some in-depth sort of stuff, along with lots of people talking at the same time, this is an hour and 11 minutes long. So um, quite a lot going on there. It's quite interesting, though. I wouldn't mind popping along to one of these. It seems to be a bit like a safari thing in Sansar. So worthy of putting up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. I'm finished. I'm finito.
You're
James,
finished. You're calling it.
James,
You're
what do you
calling it a
think of me?
program.
I'm finito.
Oh, wait, what?
No, right, yeah. Your thoughts on anything?
Oh, just the only thing I wanted to speak about today was the VR upload, the VR download program from Upload VR writers,
Oh, yes.
and
Yeah.
I really liked their show on Thursday. It was um, oh, and Sansar's not
Uh,
recognizing my voice. Hello, hello.
isn't it? Oh,
Oh, okay, now it does. Um,
uh, being funny, I
I'm
think.
doing too
Yeah.
many things at one time. Forgive me. Um, and you know the discussion was interesting because they got into VR for work and VR for collaboration because of a couple other product announcements. One was a virtual working space for meeting. I wish I could remember the name. Terrible at my notes. But anyway,
Uh,
the conversation always veers towards will this replace what we've done in the past? And I find that a little bit of another bit of a leading
oh,
statement
no,
because
sure.
it's like, okay, well, we're going to criticize it because it's not replacing what we've done before. And I commented on their channel, it's not about replacing what we've done before. It's about transforming what we've done before. And I think that's an important message to keep in mind that as these new technologies emerge, don't be hung up on looking for okay, it's going to replace what we did, but it's like no, how can we do this better in VR? How can we do this more creatively and more satisfyingly in VR? So that was my only thought, but it was a good program. I'm
Uh,
really enjoying what the writers are putting together.
you'll notice on the screen there that I've actually loaded it and found your
Oh,
comment.
let's see. Oh, right,
But
right. There we are. Yep.
yeah, I just scrolled down and saw your comment. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, this actually reminds me of the early and Second Life. There was this thing of are you oh God, immersionist or mentalist, or people came up with
Right,
all
right,
these
right.
names, but I always, I always said augment,
Mm-hmm.
because everything that's
Enhance.
been,
Right, right,
everything since there's been a DOS screen with green text, um, anything we've got on our screens, on our computers, is really tools to augment what we do already.
right.
And just because we're in lockdown and the web's become the powerful thing it is, and it's been hijacked by corporations for streaming huge movies and making money out of you, it has been corrupted in many ways, terribly so. But the important thing is that as a user, you think of what's on that screen there as a utility.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a replacement, for tools you used to have before or anything else. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's the same with work. You may, because of the pandemic, suddenly have become aware of all sorts of very useful things that help you work, inverted commas, from home.
Right.
But it's still work and it's still utility to help you work. It's not an alternative, it's still work. And yeah, to me, it's down to just an advanced tool, and I'm sure in 20 years' time, we'll be looking back on all this, and somewhere there'll be another tool that's appeared. And if we think of it as a tool rather than a service that is trying to monopolize our attention, then who knows what may be invented. The danger, I think, is the Facebooks of this world who are in no way providing a tool,
Hmm.
really, that any sensibly usable tool. Their tool is you. Yeah. Give you a few trinkets on screen and, suck up all your information, knowledge, and everything else and monetize it for themselves. That really is not the idea, but, video conferencing, holding a video conference online instead of getting on an airplane and meeting somewhere, that's good. But it's an alternative. It's not a replacement. It's just another tool to do something that you're kind of doing already.
Hmm.
Admittedly, there are things maybe we're doing already, like burning aircraft fuel, that stopping is actually a good thing. So maybe we should consider video conferencing or virtual meetings as an alternative to that anyway. But generally, it's the same. You know, computers are not television. They're not there to for you to gawk at and be sucked in by whatever they feed you. They're
Yeah.
there to be used,
Yep.
and that doesn't care whether it's virtual reality, virtual worlds, the web, or even a spreadsheet for that matter. I mean, it's there to be used. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, as you can see, I actually bookmarked. I've loaded this straight from my other screen, and I have all these shows and stuff kept in Slack every week.
Hmm.
I have a channel in Slack. You're probably on it actually. Just called Of Interest, which
Yep.
is where I put all the embeds of these. Um, so sometimes I get round to watching them, sometimes I don't. But yeah, this I agree with you. It's not much to look at, but it's quite a good show per se, if you see what I mean.
I love to look at it.
Um,
I love
yeah.
seeing their little hands move around, and
There's no
and their
arms to go
facial
with the hand.
expression. And yeah, but look at us.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
we're sitting here like robots looking straight into
yeah.
space, and they look at each other. They talk. They get up and move around and walk up to their screen. I
Actually, I
quite
was supposed to
enjoy it.
say, I just wish she had visible arms and were a bit more,
Yeah.
fleshed out.
Yep.
It's a bit like The Simpsons, really, isn't it?
No. No.
No. Well, that primitive cartoony look is what I think. Well, no, yeah, cartoon, not Simpsons necessarily. I mentioned earlier I watch Channel 4 News
Yeah.
here in the UK most days. It's on at 7 at night, our time. And one day of the week, if not more, it's preceded by reruns of The Simpsons. So
Mm.
if I turn on the box early by mistake,
Mm-hmm.
I mute the volume, but I still have to look at these Simpson cartoons, which are bloody awful. In my opinion, apparently they've got a lot of big fans, but I can't look at something that is that simplistic graphically, still.
Very good.
All right, right, right. Before I rabbit on about other things, also now I've got the of interest thing up. Um, there is something that the guys at Avacon have mentioned a bit to me. There's a thing called Gen Con
Mm-hmm.
online
Mm-hmm.
next week, which is happening in Second Life. Um, at YouTube, if you look at Second Life, the user at YouTube, they have a program called Lab Gear once a week on Fridays, and they were talking about Gen Con this week. Gen Con is it's a major conference for, oddly enough, tabletop games.
Yeah. Yep.
But this year they're having a couple of days of bringing sessions into Second Life, and the ones in Second Life are actually free to get to, as opposed to the ones on the web. So if you register for those, you will get invites to the Second Life locations. Um, and yeah, as I said, there's this video which is up there is I'm just checking this to make sure I've got the account right. Yes, this is Second Life account, so this is one of their house movies. Shame about the interface here. They're one of these people that can't be bothered to take the name tabs and radio waves off their avatars. So that was that. And also, let me put that one away. Also, as well as a VR download, um, there's a new one I've been getting. There've been three so far. Um, Deep Down Divers VR. Right? I'll just check the username on this one too. Um, yeah, Deep Down Divers VR. And the first one, which was 9th of July, it premiered, um, was actually featured Charlie Fink, a well known
Hmm.
luminary there. I'm not quite sure which world we're in here. Do you recognise it,
I
James? You
do
probably
not.
do.
No.
Oh, you don't. Okay, well, it's a virtual reality show, and here they do actually seem to have fully fleshed out avatars. It might be one they've built especially for this program. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but anyway, that's, in case you're wondering, you can't hear anything. It's
Oh, your audio is breaking up, Mal. I'm I'm not getting any audio, Mal.
1 2 1 2
Okay, now I hear you.
1 2 1 2.
Yep, coming
Oh,
through.
I'm
Yep.
back, am I?
Yep.
That's very weird. Okay. Um, it's funny. I was just saying, in case you think there's no audio, it's because I had the audio turned off. But I wasn't talking about Discord. I was talking about the movie.
Right. No, no, I understand, but some
Yeah,
that audio, I don't know. Maybe Virgin didn't like it. I don't know.
yeah, something like that. Okay, well that was episode one with Charlie Fink. Since then, oh,
I should say maybe your
doesn't
ISP didn't like it. I shouldn't reveal
yeah,
your ISP, right?
doesn't yeah, there's another one. I got here Wonder Ribbon virtual reality painting. That's not actually VR. Virtual theatre. Right. Right. Episode three had yeah. Episode three of this was out. Deep Down Divers is the account name. Alvin Wang Graylin. And I don't know what's happened here, but my episode two seems to have vanished. Maybe it's been taken down. I remember it was somebody just as influential as Charlie Fink, but I can't remember who it was. Let's have another go here.
So Mel, are
Um,
you a player of D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I've never played it.
Okay.
Um, I think really, though. Oddly enough, this is a story. Um,
Oh no,
I knew
I've
this
sent you down
guy.
another rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, no, I know this guy. Well, I knew this guy, Stephen Jackson, I think his name was.
Okay.
He worked with me. He and I and about three others were sort of site managers at a particular rock festival held at Nebworth back in the several years in a row. Um, oh God, when would it be? Mid 70s maybe. But it's that sort of gig where you had to go and literally live on the site for 2 months beforehand, to arrange for everything from roads,
Hmm.
negotiating with police, Red Cross, getting the toilets brought in, everything a
Toilets are
large rock
important,
festival
right?
did.
Right.
And, I used to drive around with Steve, and he was one of the first people I knew who had actually a kind of, well, it was a contraption, but it's like a mobile car phone, the kind of big monstrous things that
Hmm.
rich people had in the uh, 1970s.
Right.
But in the course of talking, I realised that he in his office in Hammersmith, he was once he had the original Games Workshop, which became I don't know where it's in the States, but it became a huge franchise in Britain. They'd have different branches here, there, and everywhere, and his Games Workshop were the makers of Dungeons and Dragons. So I got to know a whole lot about it, even though I never got around to laying out the board and getting out my little figurines and doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of it's probably the first one I ever knew about of that ilk. I knew
Mm-hmm.
about board games and even things like Monopoly have little tokens you put out, but actual, yeah, the actual figurines and the way you use them in Dungeons and Dragons, that was all pretty new to me. It was getting, it was taking simple board games and making them really rather advanced. A bit like it's almost a prelude to, the sort of video games kids buy now, and it takes them 3 months to play. It wasn't just a simple have a quick game thing. It was a very involved, thing to be doing, playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yes, it is.
Almost as bad as chess. Yeah, so yeah, that was a very. I'm actually happy for Steve. Working with him, I probably still never have heard of them until years later. But yeah, just before we go, I need to click on something here. Then oh yeah, Deep Down Divers VR, and oh yes, right, the second episode here was Robert Scoble. Um, I had that embedded too, but where it went, I don't know. So I'm going to send it across to my Slack feed. So I now have it again. Yeah, so Charlie Fink, Robert Scoble, and then somebody else last week. So that's quite good too. If you get once you get the hang of watching things that are filmed in VR. Oh, the other one, in fact, was. It's probably worth doing this. I'm not going to do this every week, but it's probably worth bringing in a few up this week. Um, this is another one, Brendan Bradley. How to put your audience in a virtual theatre. This will be interesting for anybody wanting to. Well, actually, I found it interesting too. Um, he's basically talking about creating basically something like the show um, we're doing now, with various other sort of techniques. And I think this is the one. He's going with Mozilla Hubs there. Anyway, this guy, his name is Brendan Bradley. In fact, I obviously didn't subscribe to him. I better do it just in case. And he's looking at a number of different games, but mostly Mozilla Hubs and how he films in there. Um, there was another one, that wasn't it, which actually I thought was very good because it was filmed by somebody in VR. And I was actually very surprised at just how good it looked. As there were no name tags around, there were no captions or anything. It was pure cinema, but you could tell from the angles and everything that as he moved, he was in VR. There's no way somebody could have moved the camera like that on a 2D screen. I forget which one it was though, and as I say, I did collect these things elsewhere for future reference anyway. Right. Okay. Well, I think that's it. I started again when James mentioned VR download, didn't I?
Yep.
Anything
I've
else?
got to
Anything
stop
else
that.
before we
Oh
go?
no, I'm done.
Yeah. No, no, you're welcome. Actually, I mean, it's nice to have that prompt into something else,
All right. All right.
near at the end there. Yeah, and I often forget. I often have these things in Slack ready to go, and of course, I'm so busy on the Twitter feeds, so I forget all about the other links I've kept. Right. Okay. Well, I think we're out of here, folks. For this week. Hopefully, we'll be back and returning next week. So, meanwhile, it's goodbye from this place sitting beside me.
And it's goodbye from that bloke sitting beside him. Ha!
That's, but
Same
that's you.
person. I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's goodbye from me too. Goodbye from we too. Get it?
Hmm.
Never mind.
Hmm.
Okay, well, have a good week, folks, and we will be back same time, same place next week if all goes well. Keep it safe. Stay indoors if you can. wear a mask everywhere else, and well, everywhere really, except at home. And yes, stay well and all that. Bye for now.